I've always been intrigued by the idea of flying an RC airplane off of the water, and I was going to get the chance to. I love flying my Hangar 9 Valiant, and then I found out that they make floats for it, so we had to get a set of those. When the floats arrived one evening, my wife thought I was trying to sneak a new airplane into the house. I might use that excuse later, but what it really was the floats for my Valiant. Actually, opening the box leads to another holy cow moment, because these things are huge. But as you'll see later, once we get them on the plane and put them in the water, we find out that these are sized just right. As with everything else I've gotten from Hangar 9, everything arrived in good shape, undamaged. And that's good because I've only got like 2 days before the float fly in. Something I didn't expect was the amount of scale detail that's in these floats. I was asked a number of times at the float fly-in if the floats came this way or if I'd done all the scale work myself. I thought of telling everybody that I did all of the scale detail, but there was people there that knew me, so that wasn't going to work. I didn't realize that the floats came with twin rudders that are servo-operated. I like that way better than tying water rudders to the main rudder. I also like that these rudders are spring-loaded so they can flip up over debris you hit in the water. These rudders also tend to tip up and dump off any grass or algae you catch on the way out. Each of the floats has this bay for a servo that drives the rudder. In the instructions, they show how to make a very simple silicone gasket for this bay. In the time I had these floats in the water, they never got any water inside of them. All of the hardware appears to be either aluminum or stainless steel. I've seen other float sets that seem to be rusting almost immediately after they get out of the water. Plus, all this hardware appears to be very well made. And that's a pleasant surprise when so many in the marketplace are cheap first and quality later, if ever. I decided not to include all the footage of me trying to figure out how to put these struts together. There was a little trial and error involved for me, but you could be a whole bunch different. In the end, everything fit, everything worked, and they matched up to the hard points that are built into the Valiant. I had pumped all the fuel out of the Valiant the day before for balancing, so getting it started turned out to be kind of a community effort. That's Dennis Shaver, a friend of mine that's actually doing the starting. Dennis gets jobs like this because things just magically start for him, including my own plane. That's my DLE-40 twin in there, and once we got gas to it, it ran fine the rest of the day. The Smith Lake Flyers put on 1 or 2 float flies every year on Smith Lake, naturally. These folks know how to put on a good fun fly on land or water. I was going to find out a little later just how nice these folks really are. Keep in mind that this is the first time I've ever had a plane on floats or tried flying off of water. The Hangar 9 floats are working great. I love the rudders on there because the plane actually went where I was steering it. And I was about to find out that my DLE-40's got plenty of power to pull this thing out of the lake. The Valiant did feel a little heavy when it got into the air, so I was taking it easy on the climb out. As soon as I made the turn out, the plane was up to speed and it felt very normal. I don't know what I was expecting it to feel like, but I was surprised that it didn't feel like hardly anything was different on the plane. I love flying the Valiant because it responds to the rudders so nicely. I was really happy to see that adding the floats to it didn't change that at all. And I could slide it around a little bit if I needed to on the way in for a landing. And right around in here is where I started thinking we better start practicing some landings because I had no idea how that was going to go. I expected the sink rate to be quite a bit faster than normal, but the Valiant didn't know about that and it just came in as normal. Give it a little airspeed and that big wing will support just about anything apparently. My first splash and go. And I celebrate that on the way out by stomping on the rudder a little bit. This turned out to be the best landing I made all day. I think that's mainly because I forgot about trying to land on water and just landed my airplane. You didn't notice the bounces. And here I find out that we don't have any brakes. All in all, I was really happy with my first flight off of floats. And as we'll see in a little bit, this was going to be the happiest I was going to be all day also. I want to stress that the Hangar 9 floats and the Valiant had nothing to do with what's about to happen in the next video. I'll bet there's a lot of people out there that can understand how I wish that my last flight with the Valiant would have ended like this. But once again, this shows you that the floats are working great. I had taken off normally and was just flying around up high a little bit while I had some traffic below me. And everything was fine, right up until this happened. I had zero control. Right in here, it sort of turns back towards the crowd, and I was all over the engine kill button and wanted to do anything I could to put this thing down away from the crowd. One of the members of the Smith Lake Flyers unhooked his trailer and took me out to get my plane in his Jeep. I can't explain how difficult this was going to be getting to the plane without driving around on the outside roads. It's a helpful spirit like this that seems to infect all of the members of the Smith Lake Flyers. When we found the Valiant, it was sitting upright. As it went behind the trees, I imagined doing an elevator with it in hopes of getting it flatter when it hit the ground. And either that worked or I just lucked out, because that's exactly how it hit the ground. The nose section appears to have snapped off when it belly flopped to the ground, because there's not a mark on the prop, the spinner, or the cowl. And it looks like the tail snapped off the same way. And my brand new floats got squished. I've already had people ask me if I'd ever fly off of floats again, and the answer is absolutely yes. By everything we can find, this is a simple receiver failure. And no, not all of the receivers like this are junk, because they're going to make millions of them, and there's going to be a couple of duds out there. I got one. I started flying back in the 72 megahertz days, and you have no idea how many planes got shot down then. This is a simple accident, and I'm just glad that it went down away from people and away from any property. And I'll be back for all of the Smith Lake Flyers Fun Flies, because I'm going to do everything I can to support a club with members like this. The Smith Lake Flyers are part of what's good about RC flying today.